Welcome to Toastmaster Time, the show that has everybody talking. My name is Knox, and I'll be your host for this edition of Toastmaster Time. Tonight we have a special edition of Toastmaster Time. We will have the District 57 leadership team in conversation. Now, we affectionately refer to them as the trio. These are the three individuals who are charged with guiding the district's programs and activities throughout the year. Our moderator for the evening is the incomparable Jim Kohli, Toastmasters International Director, Region 2. Jim, tell us what we can expect to hear tonight.
Thank you, Lewis. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce our district trio members to you. This will be a nice opportunity for us to learn about them and what's important for them in the coming Toastmaster year. I have a number of questions that I'll ask them in an interview format, and you'll get to hear what they think about these questions. First, I'd like to ask each of you a question. I'd like for you to introduce yourself and tell us about your role and your goals for the coming Toastmaster year. Let's start with you, Diane.
Hi, my name is Diane Pleuss. I am the District Director for District 57. As such, I'm responsible for the overall direction of the district, setting the tone and the vision. We have three primary goals. They are to grow the district, to recognize all of the talent, and to have a lot of fun.
What about you, Kevin? Tell us about yourself, your role, your goals for the coming Toastmaster year.
My name is Kevin Markl, and I'm the Program Quality Director, responsible for ensuring our members have a fantastic experience in their clubs. To do this, I have three real tangible goals. First, I want to make sure that all our club officers are trained to help facilitate and deliver that experience at their clubs. I also want to make sure that our district officers have the skills and knowledge to support our clubs in their mission. Also, I want to make sure that our clubs and our members have opportunities to grow with educational sessions outside of their regular club meetings.
Fantastic, Kevin. Thank you. Bett, tell us about yourself, your name, your role, and your goals for the coming Toastmaster year.
Thanks, Jim. I'm Bett Bollhoefer, and I'm the Club Growth Director for District 57. This has got two main parts. The first is inside the club. You want to grow the club. You want to retain members, and you want to have more members join to enjoy the benefits of Toastmasters. And the second part is really exciting when you start new clubs, because you introduce the benefits of Toastmasters to a whole new group of people who've never even seen it before. And so those are my two goals.
Fantastic. I have another question for each of you, and I'd like to start with Bett first. Tell us your Toastmaster story. What brought you to Toastmasters, and how did you end up in district leadership?
Thanks, Jim. I was a very shy, stuttering almost, software engineer back in 2005, and I joined Toastmasters so that I would have the courage to talk in my design sessions with my fellow coworkers. I was so scared when I first joined, but after just a few meetings, I was brave enough to not only raise my hand and talk in design sessions, but to run the meeting. Toastmasters has given me so many great skills, including how to lead. And I've taken those skills and used them in my career, and I just keep getting more and more challenges in my work. And so I decided to go to the next level, and I ran for Club Growth Director, and I won, and I'm learning incredible things, and I highly recommend everyone get out of their club and join district leadership, because it's an incredible growth experience.
Couldn't agree with you more. Kevin, tell us your story. What brought you to Toastmasters, and why district leadership?
Well, Jim, back in 2009, I moved to the Bay Area. No friends, no family, no job. I joined Toastmasters because I needed the opportunity to practice my public speaking and my interview skills. I got that job. And I continued with Toastmasters because it was important for my development in the sales role. But somebody told me, you join Toastmasters to become a better speaker. You continue with Toastmasters for when you move up into a management role and you need the skills to lead others to success. And that's why I think it's important for people to join Toastmasters, not just to communicate well, but to also excel as leaders as they grow themselves.
I like that quite a bit. Thank you, Kevin. Diane, what is your Toastmaster story and how did you end up in district leadership?
Sure. I'm a small business owner. I was conducting seminars and workshops. People were very nice, but I could tell that they were being kind, and I could greatly improve my game. A good friend encouraged me to join. I had no idea how many ums and ahs I inherently said. I have rid myself of those primarily, but it also opened up a whole wealth of additional opportunities from the club to the division to the district. I have enjoyed it immensely. I've met so many good people. I've been challenged. It's been fun. I'm looking forward to this year. It should be awesome.
I know it will be. Thank you, Diane. I have a couple of questions that I'd like to ask individuals rather than the same question to all three. I'd like to pick on Kevin. Can you tell us a little bit about the district's plan to support existing clubs and members?
Absolutely, Jim. As I said earlier, it all starts with the member experience. The first objective that we have in the district is to make sure that our clubs are delivering the right experience for our members so they have the opportunity to reach their educational goals in a fun environment while recognizing the accomplishments of themselves and others. While we make sure our program quality is delivering the right experience, we also need to make sure that we're supporting, we're growing our clubs. Not just growing the existing clubs that we have, but developing new opportunities for Toastmasters to grow.
Fantastic. I like it. I'm going to pick on you one more time before I pick on someone else. Tell us what your thoughts are on what constitutes a healthy club and why.
Absolutely. When I think about member experience, I think about the experience our guests have when they walk through the door. Are they greeted warmly? Do they have an agenda and understand what's happening in their meeting? Are they having fun? Are our members able to reach their educational opportunities that they were looking to achieve, whether personal or professional? Are they being recognized for those accomplishments? If they can do all of those things, and they can have fun and develop relationships and friendships that are going to last for many years, I think a club is healthy and thriving.
I couldn't agree with you more. Diane, I have a tricky question for you. You already told us about your goals for the district. Do you have a personal goal for yourself this year?
Personally, I would like to mentor people. I've been fortunate and have had some wonderful mentors. I would like to do the same. Toastmasters is a learn-by-doing experience. It's a very safe environment. Sometimes people come and they talk about their companies and they talk about management yelling or things like that. With Toastmasters, it's a very collaborative, friendly, warm environment. I want to encourage, I want to enhance that. I would also like to polish my speaking skills and see more people join because I think everyone can benefit from Toastmasters.
I find myself agreeing with everything you're saying so far. This is wonderful. Couldn't agree with you more about that either. Here's a question for Bett. Why do you think a regular Toastmaster should consider becoming a club officer or a district leader? You touched on it a little bit before, but let's really hear the message.
When I first joined my club back in 2005, I actually had to quit for a little while to go get my bachelor's degree, but that's a separate story. I still would visit the club. And when I came back, they immediately asked me to run for president. And I was completely overwhelmed. And I said, no, I'm just a normal person. That seems like a very high level kind of position. But they did convince me. And I learned so much in the first 6 months of being club president that it changed my entire view on leadership. I had read so many books on leadership, but being a president for the first time in a club taught me more about leadership than all of those books. And I just wanted more, and so I climbed up to area director, which is a really exciting opportunity. There's so many leadership opportunities inside the district, not just the ones that are in front of on the stage, but we have finance managers and logistics managers. You can learn anything you want by being a leader in Toastmasters.
Any thoughts about transferable skills that you get from that experience?
Every single thing I use in my day job, I have learned from Toastmasters.
Wow.
Yes, it's totally transferable. How to run a great meeting, how to persuade your coworkers or team members to do difficult projects that they may not want to do. You can learn that in a Toastmasters setting.
Good thought. I now have a question, one question for each of you one at a time, similar to the opening question. I'd like to know what's been the most memorable part of your Toastmaster year since July 1st so far?
Probably the most memorable has been coaching a college club, the DVC Toastmasters. They are a group of young, vibrant, energetic sponges that want to learn. They are open, they share. It's been just an amazing experience to see them grow and develop. They are hungry, they want to improve, they want to do better. They've gone out, they've recruited friends, they brought in lots of people, and the energy, that excitement working with someone that's younger has just been wonderful. It's kept me younger.
Tell you the truth, I felt a little bit infected by their enthusiasm myself when they were helping out at the TLI. They are quite a dynamic and enthusiastic bunch. I totally agree. Kevin, what's been the most memorable moment for you so far in your Toastmaster year?
I remember very recently our Toastmasters Leadership Institute, which happened on July 7th. And we organized it expecting 300 people. And as we really came to understand, Toastmasters are here to learn. If you provide valuable learning opportunities, they will come. And we sold out, and we had to find more rooms to accommodate people and more speakers. And when we got out on that main stage, the auditorium was packed. And I knew we were onto something. We can help members grow and do whatever they want to do.
I was there and I appreciated that moment as well. We're going to take a quick break right now for a public service announcement, and we'll get right back to our program in a few minutes.
Name an effective political leader in history who couldn't speak well.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
There aren't any.
Because when it comes to a disease,
Freedom requires leadership, and leadership requires oratory. You have to speak to be heard.
I have a dream.
It's all about personal growth and guts.
Never give in. Never, never, never.
Welcome back. We have our final question for Bett. Excuse me. We have Bett answering this question that the other two district leaders have asked so far. What's been the most memorable moment so far in your Toastmaster year, Bett?
There's just so many, Jim, that I'm racking my brain to pick which is the most exciting. The TLI, being on stage with 400 cheering people, having them all call and response on how to plan and execute and celebrate. That was amazing. And then just having area director training was very exciting. But I think the number one most exciting thing this year has been this incredible open house that Jim and I just ran at Electric Speakers. We had a booth out in the lobby. We had so many people come by. Jim was yelling at people like, hey, you're coming today. And they're like, okay. And then we had 25 people show up. Lots of pizza. We had great speakers, and 2 people signed up right there. And it's just the joy of Toastmasters. The people who got up, she said it was the most scary thing she had ever done, and she had just been talking about, what was it?
Ziplining across a river full of crocodiles.
That was the thing she decided to talk about, but she said standing there was more scary, and she did it, and she was smiling, and I'm sure she's going to sign up. Sharing Toastmasters with new people is just amazing. So I would say that's the most rewarding thing this year.
Couldn't agree more. I feel like I'm using that line over and over again.
I know.
I apologize. So yeah, it was memorable for me as well, listening to her story. Diane, if you had another Toastmaster asking you about how to get started in leadership and Toastmasters, what would you ask them and what would you tell them?
Very good question, Jim. First, I would ask them what are their goals. I never want to make assumptions. They might want to enhance their leadership skills. They might want to become this phenomenal public speaker. So I would ask, what do they want to get out of Toastmasters? And then I could hopefully slot them into roles and positions that would encourage that. We have Pathways, which has 10 different programs. Right now, everything is about customization and personalization, and Toastmasters is right there. So you can look at 10 custom paths that you can look at and adapt and embrace. There are multiple opportunities. I would love to be able to mentor and coach them, introduce them to different clubs, other people, et cetera, et cetera.
All right, so the first, Bett, did you want to
I would like
say
to
more?
add to that. One thing that we really want to do this year is get new Toastmasters who haven't done anything yet out of their own club, help them. And the main thing is, if you come to TLI, if you come to events that we have, spring conference, come and talk to people. Tell us your goals, because if you stay in your club and you don't tell people about your goals and your dreams, we can't help you. So we're here to help you. Diane wants to mentor you. So come up and introduce yourself. We are all very friendly. Talk to your area director who comes to the club. You know, get your name out there, because we will find something that will grow you. We will not disappoint.
And we'll have fun doing it.
Amen.
Heck yeah.
Wow, 2 parts of the district goals. I love
Yes.
it. It's fantastic. I'd like to ask Kevin, you mentioned Pathways. Kevin, what are your thoughts about Pathways for District 57 in the coming year?
Pathways is a fantastic learning opportunity for each and every Toastmaster in our district. Everybody joins Toastmasters because they have a goal that they're working towards. And the 10 paths that are available to our members, whether it's presentation mastery, whether it's coaching other leaders, having more visionary communication to motivate others, can serve all our members whatever they want to do. I think it's critical to recognize that we have all the breadcrumbs, all the insights that people need to get started with Pathways. From how do I select my first path? How do I get started with my first project? How do I finish my first level and move on to the next frontier in Pathways?
Do you see any role for George Marshall in that vision for Pathways?
George has been a fantastic supporter of Pathways, not just in our district, but internationally around the world. I'm excited that George has built a team of individuals who are evangelizing Toastmasters and Pathways and how it can help grow others. I'm excited that we have a fantastic Pathways chair who's going to help lead the way to educate our club officers, our district officers, and our members to take advantage of what Pathways has to offer this year.
Thank you, Kevin. I now have a question for Bett. Can you share with us some thoughts you have to make any meeting way more fun than it already is?
You know, if I could jump up and dance right now, I would. But I don't want to dump over all these beautiful glasses. Toastmasters is fun. And if we try to make it like, you know, boring and stiff, then it's not fun. It's not, we're losing the heart of it. It is about having fun. Recently, we ran a reverse meeting. A reverse meeting is where you start off with the evaluations and you tell how long each person spoke and how many ums they had and how many times they used the word of the day. And then you have the evaluation of the speaker, and they tell things like, oh, I loved it when you jumped up and down, and I don't know why you kept talking about your mom. And then you have the speakers, and then you have table topics, which is the most fun. Someone goes up, anyone just walks up, they just tell something, and then the table topics person has to figure out the topic that was asked. And then finally you have the actual speakers who pay off on all the jumping up and down and crying about their mom and running around the room or whatever it was. It is such a fun way to spice up Toastmasters, but there's lots of really good ideas out there. So try something new. That's what I would say.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'd now like to ask each of you one at a time any final words for District 57. Let's start with Diane.
If you haven't been involved yet, I would encourage you to do that. We're starting our year. There's lots of opportunity. We have open positions. We would welcome it. We will want to know, again, what you want, but give it a shot. It should be a wonderful growing experience.
Kevin, any final thoughts?
I think this is the time to consider speaking not just inside your club, but outside of your club. After you've done enough speeches, you might get a little bit too comfortable. And when you begin speaking outside your club, you might get those butterflies when you did your first icebreaker. That's when you're really going to start putting your gas on the accelerator to develop your skills and to get after what you want from Toastmasters.
Bett, your final thoughts.
Mentoring. Make sure you have a mentor. Find someone to mentor. It doesn't matter how inexperienced you are, you can help someone else. Coach, mentor, find something outside of your comfort zone.
I love it. Well, thank you all so much for your time. I've really enjoyed our conversation here today. I'm sure District 57 will enjoy working with you this year. It will be fun. We will grow. We're going to get a lot done. I'd now like to turn control back to Lewis to close our show.
Welcome back to Toastmaster Time, the show that has everybody talking. Well, that's our show for the evening. Thank you for joining us on Toastmaster Time. We tape our show in the San Francisco Bay Area. If you would like more information about the show, please visit our website at toastmastertime.com. We're sponsored by Toastmasters District 57. For local information, check their website at d57tm.org. If you would like more information about Toastmasters or would like to find a club near you, please visit Toastmasters International at toastmasters.org. We appreciate all the wonderful staff and volunteers at the Media Center in Palo Alto where our show is taped. Thank you again to our District 57 leadership team, Diane Pleuss, Kevin Markl, and Bett Bollhoefer, and our moderator for the evening, Toastmasters International Director, Region 2, Jim Kohli. From all of us at Toastmaster Time, I'm Lewis Knox. We invite you to join Toastmasters and remember, keep talking.